What is going on, everybody? Another episode of 4x4 Camping and Adventures, and in today's episode I'm going to take you through how to do a full tub liner spray with the Raptor kit from u-pol. So I've been speaking to Raptor mainly for a couple of months now, and we collaborated together to do a bit of a DIY tutorial on how to spray these bed liners. As you would know, Supercheap is a big part of the channel, so I got them involved. So they gave me a Blackridge 2.5 horsepower belt driven compressor, because you do need obviously a fair bit of power, or let's say airflow, when you're spraying anything really in general. So if you're doing any kind of spray painting, you do need a little bit of airflow. So they gave me one of these air compressors to try it on the video. And yeah, first things first, let's get into what you're going to need to get this done properly. So my first thing probably comes to anything to do with spray painting is safety. So make sure you have masks, make sure you have ear muffs and glasses, all that kind of thing. When you're doing the dusting, it does get a little bit messy. I went out and got a Ridge Rider sander, so an orbital sander. The reason I got this was mainly because it actually has a bag on the back that should stop most of the dust. Next thing you're going to need is some sand discs. Now I bought 180 grit because with this, with the Raptor Bed Liner kit, they do say sand up the area and that kind of thing. Now I use 180 because it's going to take all the clear coat and the finish off the actual paint, but it's not going to bring it back to bare metal. That's not a huge issue if you do have the Raptor kit, because it can spray over bare metal. There's no issues there. It'll protect it and seal it and that kind of thing, and it won't rust. But I got the 180 grit sandpaper disc. So that's something else you need. You're going to need some gloves, mainly because you just don't, after you do the first run and get everything cleaned up and dusted, which I'll show you in the video, you don't want your greasy fingers getting over everything. Hence why I have the degreaser, so that's a big part of the whole install. As you can see, I've used some painter's tape to go over absolutely everything. So this stuff doesn't really have too much overspray, but I've just put a little bit on there just to be 100% sure that I don't get anywhere I don't want it to be. I'm doing the tailgate, I'm doing all this inside the tub. I'm not going over the edges of the tub because I don't want that look. And yeah, so you just don't want to have overspray. So anywhere that you don't want to get sprayed, just make sure you get out there with the tape. Face mask, big important thing. As I said, some earmuffs. This is the gun that doesn't actually come with the kit. You've got to buy this separately. There's a few tricks on this gun, which I'll show you in the bit where we actually get to the spray painting. What you'll see on the bottom here is actually a moisture trap, so this actually stops the moisture getting into the line. So a compressor will make moisture when they're just actually working in normal. So what this does is actually traps the moisture so it doesn't actually come out here and ruins your finish. So make sure you get one of those when you're doing any kind of spray job. They're like $5, they're like a throwaway, but just make sure you obviously use one of those when you're into it. Last but not least, you're going to need some rags, you're going to need bucket loads of those. And this is the kit itself. So pretty simple stuff. You can tint this as well. You can get a tintable kit. This is just the normal black because it's the this is the bed liner, so I'm not overly stressed about the colour. You get 4 bottles of this stuff in the kit. Now, they say this is enough to do pretty much a bed liner. I've seen some American videos with those big American trucks, and most of those use 3.5 bottles. So if I've got some left over, I'm going to use a little bit extra on some other pieces of the car, because this stuff is absolutely rugged as hell. So it's going to protect whatever I put it onto. So I've got a few things I need to do around the car just that I want to touch up. And some hardener. So you've got a litre of hardener. Now how this works is these will take 250 ml of this hardener, and then you shake it up for 2 minutes, and then you literally spray. That's as easy as it is. So inside these bottles, I'll get into this when I get to the section where we're actually spraying it, but inside these bottles they've got a filler mark, and you fill them up to a certain point. Then you put the hardener in and you're ready to rock and roll. So nice and easy. But that is pretty much it. This comes in a simple box, and as I said, the kit is for anyone that is serious on doing a DIY. There's a little bit of prep involved, which I'm going to take you through the whole thing, but if you're serious about doing this kind of thing, absolutely watch this video and let's get into it. So first things first, you want to do, step 1 of the whole process is get this thing sanded back. The Raptor lining does need a quite a coarse surface to bite into, so it's in your best interest to not just spray it back straight onto the the paint that's already on there because it won't stick too well. So my advice is get one of these guys. Save you a lot of dramas and save you a lot of time. And hook him up to your compressor if you have one. If you haven't got one, you can do it by hand, but of course it's going to take a lot longer. And what you're going to need is these lovely sanding pads. I want to make sure this is lined up as well, because you don't want the bottom to be rubbing, or the Velcro of this to be rubbing on any paint surface, because you'll stuff your sander up pretty quick. So make sure this is all lined up with the holes underneath so it can suck in all the dust. Put on your goggles, so put on your face mask. You want that on, because this stuff is it's pretty fine, so you don't want to breathe it in or anything like that, because that's just going to ruin your day. But get a face mask just so you're ready to rock and roll. Remember, safety first, all this kind of stuff. If you're doing DIY, just make sure you take the safety precautions, because last thing you want to do is get sick or something like that from doing a job. So take the safety precautions, and yeah, you can get into it. One bit of advice with these: when you're sanding, don't push down on it. The sandpaper's there to do all the work. So when you're doing it, just put light pressure on it, but let the actual sander do the work. This guy here provides the power. This guy here does the job for you. So you're at the, I'd like to say the final step, but you've got a little bit left to go. So next step now is mixing up the Raptor with the hardener, shaking that for 2 minutes, get everything ready, like the gun, all that kind of thing. There's a chap I saw on YouTube, and he was actually telling me in his video that if you actually release this by about a couple of threads, so when you actually do it up, it's got a thread inside, like so. So it's quite a long thread, So what you do is go in about halfway. What this allows you to do, so it's about there, it extends it out further and you get actually more of your bottle. So before, if you let it sort of just go all the way in, you would actually miss out about that much of your bottle. So we did a bit of comparison, it makes sense. So when you get it on there, you get all the way pretty much down to the bottom of your bottle. If you go all the way in, you tighten her up, you can see how much you lose. So you almost lose, I don't know, about 2 centimeters of your bottle. So so that was a pretty good little trick, or tip I should say, that I learnt off that chap. I have no idea what his name was, because I watched about 10 videos on Raptor, so I have no idea what his name was, but his video was quite good. If I can find the video again, I'll link it in the description. But next step, get this stuff. We're gonna, it literally just fits on there, and put the hardener in there, 250 mils of hardener in each one. There's a little gauge in there as well, which tells you where to fill it up to as well, which I'll show you. And yeah, we're ready to the next step, and spray some Raptor Liner on there. So this is going to be the cool bit, so let's get into it. Alright, so one thing you really do want to do is you want to release the pressure to about 55 psi. So the idea here is just to release up and get him down. To exactly about 55. So 60. I reckon that there is about 55. So get your gauge to about 55 psi. I reckon that's pretty close. They say 50 to 60, that's right in the middle. And yeah, you just want to make sure this is ready to rock and roll. You don't want 90 plus psi going through that that hose, because it's just going to make a horrible finish. So you can actually adjust the texture by adjusting this pressure gauge, and with that you can actually make a bit of a different coat. Alright, so now you're at this stage. You've got to get this all prepped for the actual spray. So what you got to do is put the hardener into the actual Raptor liner itself, and you can actually see this black line, which is a bit of like an indent. The actual Raptor liner is about there, and then this is actually 250 mil. So that's your gauge. So what you do is you fill up the hardener to that point, and then you're ready to rock and roll. After you do that, you want to put the lid back on, and you want to shake him for about 2 minutes until it's pretty much ready to go. I'm going to give it 3 minutes just to make sure she's all good, and then from there, literally this guy here bolts onto that guy there, so they connect together. Put some air in there, give it a few test sprays, and you're ready to rock and roll. So there's a few things I'm going to do just before I start that. I'm going to get some match to this cardboard that I've got here, mainly because I want to make sure when I'm doing the overspray I can actually have something behind where I'm spraying, and that's not going to spray Raptor lining all through my carport. So I'll get this stuff into here, and yeah, we'll start spraying. Right, ready to chuck in your gun. Make sure she's all lined up. Honestly, it's as easy as that. So you're ready to start shooting. Alright everybody, pretty damn stoked. As you can see, it looks pretty awesome. And if you've got a keen eye, you've probably seen that I've actually got changed. Now the reason I wasn't wearing this at the start of the video is because I actually like this shirt. It's a pretty cool shirt. I actually really like this green. If I get the car painted, I'll be getting like a fluoro green because I really like the colour. And yeah, I do actually want to get the shirt wrapped up. So Raptor actually gave me the shirt. It's weekend forecast, Raptoring with a chance of beer. I think I'll be getting a beer after this because I want to be in full mind frame when I'm spraying air guns and all that kind of stuff. But I'm pretty happy with it so far. Very easy to apply. Like, I've never done spray painting. I'm not a spray painter by any means, but extremely easy to apply. It's quite thick, so you don't really have to layer it or anything like that when you're doing the spraying. I've still got 2 bottles, so the whole tray was done with a single bottle. What I've got to sort of do now is get into sort of the nooks and crannies, make sure I spray around here just to give all this a bit of a clean up, and mask all this up so it's ready to go, so I don't get overspray on all the joins and arms. But I'll get all that in sprayed out, I'll get it here sprayed out, and I'll just mask it off so it doesn't go through the back of the tailgate. that'll just sort of finish off this area. And to be honest with you, I'll put one more bottle into the back coating, but first impressions, like super happy with it. This kit I got off Raptor at a special price, but you can buy it from super cheap order, you can get it directly from Raptor and all that kind of thing. I'll put up the price on the screen now, but as I said, I got a special price from Raptor. I did pay for it, so it wasn't given to me or anything like that. And I just wanted to, as you know, put something different in the back of the car. Now I can put the drawers in. If you've probably got another key now, you can see the Titan rear drawers hanging around in the background here. They're going to go in as well. I've still got to spray these guys here with the Raptor lining. The reason I'm spraying these is because these are my tonneau cover bits and pieces. So I'll spray those with the Raptor lining just so they're all nice and uniform and even and that kind of thing. And when I put them back in the car, it's not going to look too weird, you know, having big silver bits. I think they look a bit crappy. So, yeah, look, I'm actually pretty damn happy with it. And how easy it was to apply. Got to give props to the compressor. That did a fantastic job. I didn't lose any airflow during the whole spray. It kept going. It only cut in 3 or 4 times, but the airflow was absolutely fantastic. And even when I was spraying, the compressor would still turn off because it's getting enough air and then turn back on when it needed to. So air compressor is awesome. So if you're interested in the market for an air compressor, have a look at that one because it seems to be pretty damn good. And yeah, look, I'm going to let this do its thing, then let it dry up, and yeah, put in the second coat. Then once it's all dry, I'll start masking out all these areas here, and yeah, I'll be pretty much done. So I'm going to let this dry, go have some lunch, and I'll see you when it's all dry. Alright everybody, that is another episode of 4x4 Camping Adventures. My final thoughts on the Raptor product. To put it in a nutshell, extremely impressed. It seems extremely solid. The surface has only been done today, and the surface is pretty much scratch proof, it looks like. So it definitely exceeded my expectations. The prep work, I mean, yeah, as I said, you've got to sand, degrease, all that kind of stuff. Make sure it is absolutely ready to rock and roll, so this stuff can grip onto paint underneath, and pretty much ready to rock and roll. But product, awesome, absolutely fantastic. And look, this took me, I feel like saying about 5 hours. Prep work, filming, all that kind of stuff. So you could probably take about an hour and a half of filming. So you probably get away with about 3.5 hours. And I reckon you could do this in your own home and pretty easily. Overspray is not really much of an issue. Just make sure you mask, all that kind of stuff. Do all the usual stuff you would do when you're going to go spray painting. But no, I'm extremely impressed with it. You'll see these shots here. Some of the, pretty much the entire bed liner now looks like it's been sprayed from factory. It's all clean, all the edges are done nicely. I did a real thorough job with the masking, and I just wanted to make sure everything was absolutely perfect, because you don't want to do this multiple times, you just want to do this once. But yeah, no, I'm super stoked how this turned out. I can't wait to put the drawers in there. I can't wait to deck out this tray. It's been a long time coming. So yeah, look, pretty happy with it. I even went into the next step, and you can probably see them up here. Sprayed the tonneau cover in the same stuff, so I sprayed all those. Mainly to match, I didn't want them to be silver and look all crap. So sprayed all those as well. And yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be interesting to see how it handles full driving, how it handles the sand. I'd say it's gonna be a lot easier to clean out because you can just wash it all out as per usual. I went over all the rust and all that kind of stuff. I had a few rust spots in the back here, and I went all over those, so I made sure that was all done. So yeah, look, extremely impressed with the product. Raptor, epic stuff. I've got to thank, as I said, I've got to thank Raptor, I've got to thank Super Cheap Auto. Both of those companies came on board and helped me out to do this, and I'm so thankful for all their help and support, for everything they've done to the channel, so that's fantastic. So thanks Super Cheap Auto, and thank you Raptor for helping out and supporting pretty much my YouTube channel, which is awesome. Final thoughts: if you haven't done this and you want to spray your bed liner, definitely do it. Have a go, because as long as you get a compressor, that's probably the biggest expense of the lot. The stuff isn't too expensive, but But yeah, you got to have a compressor and all that kind of stuff to really make it work. But if you can, well, they do a roll-on kit as well, so you can go ahead and got a compressor, you can just roll it on. So that's another way of doing it. But yeah, if you can sort of commit to sanding back and doing that kind of thing, yeah, you're going to be pretty happy with the results. I know I am. I'm actually stoked with this stuff, and I just can't believe how scratch resistant it is. I'm even thinking maybe just spraying the whole car in it, because it just seems, when I have to polish the car again, it just doesn't scratch. Yeah, so happy with it. So look, that's another episode of 4x4 Camping and Adventures. If you like this episode, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, I shall see you in the next one. Bye.